Everybody? Hang on. Get this camera right. Sorry. Apologies. I apologize. Okay. Go that again. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Saturday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hutco Roofing, HutcoRoofing.com. Finally, the wait is really over. Last week were the hors d'oeuvres. Thursday and Friday were your appetizers. Today, the main course. It is week one of college football, and we have a jam-packed day. And LSU don't play till tomorrow, so we can just sit around and watch games all day today, bruh. I am fired up for it. Hopefully you are as well. Fire away. Questions, comments, concerns, games you're most looking forward to see. I'll tell you, I've got plays today on the heavy underdogs in the big games. I got Oregon and Notre Dame with the points. I did make small plays on Florida and Cincinnati. And Otter gave us, he was on the show yesterday, but he texted me, gave me Texas State. So, made a play on Texas State as well today. I have no interest in watching that game, but I do have interest in cashing tickets. So, had a good night last night. Live bet the TCU game when it was down to 7.5. They ended up blowing out Colorado in the second half, so cashed that ticket. Also had Indiana yesterday. Cashed that ticket. Off to a good start, man. Good start. All right, let's say some good mornings. Know what y'all got. Drew's here. Drew woke up at 8 o'clock this morning. Couldn't sleep in on a Saturday. What are you doing? Dada. You want to say hi to Dad's show? Yeah. You want to come say hi to Dad's show?
No.
Oh, well, that's not very nice. No? Oh, he gone. All right. Nicole Laverde, good morning. Hey, Dad, good morning. Jeff McKiffin, Bob Poole, Seth Gaucher, Jason Losness, Alex Robleski, Nicholas Cantrell, good morning. Who we betting today? Just ran through mine. Let me know if there's anybody y'all like too. Hunter Eilers, flying to New Orleans tonight. All right, man. Jason Shelton, Matthew Gardner, good morning from Asheville. A little bachelor trip, week one of college football. Yeah, the morning slate today isn't great. Not a whole lot of meat on the bone in the 11 a.m. window. So, I mean, I'll be watching. I'll probably be flipping around a little bit. But you got some SEC teams in action. I mean, Texas A&M plays Sam Houston at 11 on the SEC Network. So, you'll probably keep an eye on that, see how Haynes King looks. Michigan plays Colorado State. A lot of people high on NC State. I have no idea why NC State is playing at East Carolina. Did y'all see Virginia Tech lost last night? That's the second time now they've lost at Old Dominion. They lost at Old Dominion in 2018. They went back last night and lost again. Bro, stop going to Old Dominion. All right. Mr. Fontenot, good morning. Apollo Balboa, tough loss for CHS. Any college prospects for Daniel Beal? Yeah, so Catholic played the team from D.C. last night. Our Lady of Good Counsel. Back and forth game. Catholic led 21-7. Good Counsel tied it. Catholic took a lead. Then Good Counsel came back and took a lead. And Catholic had the ball with a chance to go win it. Stalled, punted. Good Counsel put together a game-winning drive and kicked the game-winning field goal as time expired. So it sounded like a really good. I didn't get to see it, but had buddies at the game who were kind of keeping me up with what was going on. So it sounded like a really good game. Shelton Sampson went off. As far as Daniel Beal, I don't know if he's got college prospects. I mean, he's been starting since he was a freshman. He's a big kid with a good arm. So he's only a junior. So I would imagine he'll play somewhere if he wants to. I don't know if it's like big time or what. I really don't know. But I'll tell y'all another name to keep an eye on, y'all, because everybody knows about Shelton Sampson, but it's Daniel Harden. Daniel Harden is the other receiver at Catholic. He's a D1 prospect. Jed Meir, good morning. Let's go. Stress-free day of football. Survive 623, good morning. Game day tomorrow. FSU fans think they're taking over New Orleans. Yeah, tomorrow I think it'll be a little bit different. Manny Trent. So, Brad David, do you think when the playoff is expanded, Some teams will sit out starters late in the year. No, Brad, and I'll tell you why. It's a good question because like you see that in the NFL sometimes. Because seeding is going to matter with the way that it's being suggested. If the top 4 have buys, and then the next 4 get to decide if they want to be on campus or like a neutral site dome nearby. Like for example, if you lived in, let's say Notre Dame, right, had a home game. Would you want to play outdoors in the snow and freezing weather? Or would you want to go play like in Indianapolis? You know, I mean, that's kind of I think what they're talking about. Of course, you want to play on your campus, but no, because I think there's going to be so much on the line with respect to seeding. What I mean is, it's like in the NFL, right? If you are a division winner, you're going to have a home game in the first round, whether you play in the wild card round or not. Like you're going to have or division round, like you're going to have a home game. What if you sit starters and you lose and you drop out of the top 4? You drop out of the top 8. You know what I mean? You either lose your bye or you could theoretically lose a home game. So either way, there's something to play for throughout. Wilson Sill, good morning. Yeah, just talked about the format. TK, does the Piccadilly stream games? My friend Jerry wants to know. Roger Claiborne, Chemo Slice, A. Cashman, Scone mode activated. James Metman, good morning. Says, I believe LSU win their game. Yeah, so I gave my pick yesterday. I settled in on 27-23 LSU. I do think it's a close game. I think LSU's defense plays well. 27-23 is where I settled in. AOD3, good morning. Let's see, Brad, you made a good point yesterday how Chavis' defense stats were skewed at LSU because they were not on the field very much. I used to think he was a good coach. Brad, he was a good coach. For a lot of years, he was a really good coach, but the game evolved and he didn't. And that was kind of the problem was, as the game evolved and he didn't, when defenses had to be on the field for 75 plays a game, his defenses, he didn't understand the bend don't break. Make them be perfect over 13, 14, 15 plays. The backer. Raymond, what's up? Mr. Fontenot, good morning. Why are they playing a group of 5 school? At group of, you're talking about Virginia Tech. Why are they playing at group of 5? No idea. Let's see, Brad David, what are you going to drink today? Don't know, man. Don't know. Daryl Dunn, let's see. Morning Scone beats game day. I got them both on. Irfan Sayad, good morning. Mr. Fontenot, I have 2 special needs boys. I know what a blessing they are. Amen, man. God bless you and your family. Murder Giraffe, good morning. Daryl Dunn, Brett DeGrow. Opening weekend of college ball. It's better than Christmas. Let's see, Irfan said the Utah-Florida game is intriguing. What are your thoughts? So I'll tell you this, Irfan. I was talking to Phil Steele yesterday, and Phil's on AFR every Friday now. And by the way, Phil likes Utah to win the game. So we have a slight disagreement here, but he didn't make a pick on against the spread of the game. That's probably an abstain for him, a stay away spot. But what I'll tell you is this, man. Phil did have Florida among his most improved teams in the country. And every year, y'all, take this to the bank. If you want to make a futures bet, like a season-long futures bet, go to Phil Steele. And what are they doing at the linebacker? Go to Phil Steele's magazine or his website, he's got it, and look for his most improved teams. His most improved teams are money in the bank. Like, I don't know what his metric is, however he decides, whatever, but his most improved teams year to year, he always bet they're over. He hits them like clockwork. So he's got Florida as one of his most improved teams this year. And the more I thought about it, while they may not have dynamic receivers at Florida this season, Anthony Richardson, y'all, is projected by many to be a first-round pick, and he's a freak show. So him at quarterback, I think Billy Napier is a really good coach. I did make a small play on Florida I made a small play on Florida with the points, but I would not be surprised if Florida beats Utah today, y'all. I get it. Utah is they were in the Rose Bowl a year ago, really good team. They returned their quarterback and a bunch of production. I get it, man. I'm not poo-pooing Utah. I think Utah's a really good team. That game being, if it was in Salt Lake City, maybe I feel differently. But that game being in Gainesville, Week 1, Billy Napier era, a lot of excitement. Anthony Richardson. I do think Florida has a really chance to win that game. Kenneth Walker, with all things being considered, who is feeling more pressure on tomorrow's game? Brian Kelly's got a $100 million contract, so clearly there's some there. But, Brian Kelly's at no risk of losing his job. If it's fair to say, man, if you're looking at Mike Norvell at Florida State, if he doesn't get things turned around, he could be on the chopping block because there's a lot of people at Florida State that want to hire Deion Sanders. So Florida State's got to, Mike Norvell's got to make a move this year. Ryan Amanda gives me 35-17. I'll look forward to seeing you back here on Monday. David Wallace, good morning. Jared Sanders, LSU wins. Booty touchdown. Noah Kane touchdown. Patrick Cason, good morning. Stephen Dufour, shout out Frank Beamer for what he did at Virginia Tech. That program has been a dumpster fire since he left, losing to Old Dominion again. That's the craziest part. You lose that game once, why do you schedule it? Apparently they got them scheduled for like a decade. Like they're going back there again. Kirk Taylor, Stephen Beach, David Rodrigue, Bubba Tatum, what's going on? Let's see. Kirk, give me 12-team playoff games on campus. So that first round, right? The first four get a bye. The next four we'll have on campus, which I think will be awesome. AJ Holland, GameCoin platform launch tomorrow night. Bought the dip a day early with that drop yesterday. Money get pulled to pay for platform bill. No, not at all. It's by the way, it's not launching tomorrow, AJ. So no, it is not launching tomorrow. And that the dip was not anybody associated with GameCoin pulling money out. Please keep in mind that the top 30 wallets are locked for 2 years, meaning nobody among the top 30 wallet holders, including the founders, can touch any of their tokens for 2 years. I've said this before and I'll say it again. We did a GameCoin AMA last night for those that missed it. It's on the GameCoin YouTube channel. Our Chief Technology Officer, Fred Leno, was in town from Las Vegas, so he sat in with us and you will understand why we have a lot of confidence in Fred and what we're doing on the platform. But anyway, David Mailer has bankrolled the entire thing personally. There's been no money raised. There's been no money taken out of the liquidity pool, like literally zero. It has been 100% David Mailer bankrolling the entire thing. So that's why I get super defensive of him when people criticize him, because I'm like, that dude has cojones to drag the ground. Like, he is all in with his own personal wealth to build out this thing. And there is nobody who is more leveraged than he, but there's also nobody more bullish in what they're doing. I respect it tremendously. Paul Losi, good morning. Dane Bergeron, morning from North Dakota. The best time of the year, football season, hunting season. All right, what y'all got? Fire away with some questions, some comments. Steven Stoner, what's your gut telling you about our game? W or L for the Tigers? I do think LSU wins it, Steven. If you have a shot and you want to go check out the After Further Review YouTube channel, I gave my full explanation yesterday. I think LSU's better coached. I give Brian Kelly the edge over Mike Norvell. Venue favors LSU. I went through the experience factor of the two quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels, 29 games started in his career to 15. For Jordan Travis on the other side, Daniels has double the amount of career passing yards. He's got 10 more career touchdown passes. I mean, it's, Jordan Travis has played parts of 4 seasons, but man, you're talking about Jaden Daniels, who has been a starter for every game of his career. I'd give an edge to LSU there as well. I give Florida State an edge in the kicking game, and that may be the determining factor. But I really think LSU's defensive front is going to be difficult to handle for Florida State's offensive line, and I think that's going to create a lot of offensive problems for Florida State. Ricky Charles Constant, can't wait to see Brian Kelly game plan in action. Hopefully, a few screens of the running back and tight ends. Let's see, Steven, let's pretend Daniel struggles tomorrow night. How short is the lease before Nuss comes in? I think that's a game flow thing, Steven. I don't think it's 2 series, but if you get into a point where maybe like in the second half you feel like you need to jumpstart your offense, that could be possible. But honestly, what you hope is the reverse to be true. You hope offensively they just churn and burn. And next week you're going to have an opportunity to play them both either way. Samuel Merrifield, Matt, is Penning done for the year? How effective do you think Saints run game will perform? Penning is not done for the year. He's on IR, but they can bring him back from IR. But he's going to miss the majority of the season for sure. It may be season ending, but it's not been declared already. Jason Shelton, do you think 12 teams is too many for the playoffs? Nope, I don't think it's enough. Robbie White, morning, Matt. Random compliment, but I admire the way you never incorporate politics into sports talk, unless it's egregious take from either side. Seems like for most, politics and sports go hand in hand these days. Well, Robbie, I'll tell you this, man. I consider when people. Okay, first of all, I want to say this. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have an opinion. We live in America. Everyone's entitled to any opinion and entitled to express that opinion whenever they want. And that's fine. The big difference that I'll tell you, Robbie, is I'm hired to host a sports talk show. When you punch into After Further Review, your expectation is to hear sports, not politics. There are places, that's not to say I don't have opinions. And there are places that I can express those opinions. But it's not on my sports talk show where I'm hired to do sports. That's a bait and switch. It's why I get so annoyed whenever I go to a concert and there's a musician who's talking politics. I don't care what side you're on. I don't care if it's Garth Brooks talking right or Green Day talking left. I don't care. I mean, whichever one. If I bought a ticket to your concert, play your song. That's why I bought a ticket. So, hi, Drew. So I'm not saying don't have an opinion. I'm not saying don't express your opinion. I'm just saying where you express your opinion matters. Tim Edwards, Old Dominion, Virginia Tech have 8-year home and home contract. That's bizarre. That's just bizarre. Blake Morgan, who wins, Georgia or Oregon? I'm taking Georgia to win. I do like Oregon in the points, though. Y'all, Georgia had 15 players drafted. 15 off that team. And Dan Lanning's now the coach at Oregon. Bo Nix, I'm curious to see how Bo Nix does. And Oregon did lose some guys, man. I mean, look, one of Oregon's running backs, Trey Benson, is at Florida State now. So, I mean, they lost some guys, but 17 is just a lot. Just a lot off a Georgia team that lost so much from a year ago. 17 is just a lot. So I'm taking Georgia to win, but I like Oregon in the points. Vernell Thomas, good morning. You think the Saints put a flyer out on Blake Martinez? Bro, news to me. You're saying should they? Okay, got it. My bad. No, look, they need another veteran linebacker. I was surprised they cut John Bostic. Martinez would kind of be in that same mold, but I don't feel comfortable going into the season with Demario Davis, Pete Werner, who's been injured, shoulder, groin, and then your next guy is Caden Ellis. And after that, it's really just special teams guys. I'm not comfortable with that. Like, you need another veteran linebacker on this team. Vinay Patel, thank you for the Game Coin AMA last night. Thank you for the questions, Vinay. Appreciate your insight every week when we ask about the progress. Yeah, one of the things if you do own Game Coin and you're curious, go to the Game Coin YouTube channel. We did an AMA last night. Covered a lot of ground. This one was more technical in nature because we had Fred Leno, who's the chief technology officer in town, and we did basically he went through a lot of the technicality of it. We did not show the platform. I was a little disappointed. I was hoping we would, but I think, are very sound reasons why, legal among them too. So anyway, soon. Jeremy Sagley, good morning, or Sagely. Nick Chasson, morning, Matt. Have any lead pipe locks today? I don't know that I would say lead pipe locks, but I told you what I played. I do have a play on both Notre Dame and Oregon with the points. I have small plays on Cincinnati and Florida. And Otter gave me Texas State. One of his guys at VSiN was kind of bullish on Texas State. So those are the games I have. Yesterday I won with Indiana. That was a game Phil Steele gave us, Indiana with the late win and cover. And then I live bet TCU. That line was 13. When it was a 7-6 game late in the second quarter, it was down to 7.5. So I live bet TCU at 7.5. In the second half they rolled. So 4-1 night Thursday, 2-0 yesterday, and I got a handful of plays today. So let's see if we can keep it going. As always, I'll shout out to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Jacob Willis, what's the best place in Baton Rouge to find LSU gear? Here in Lake Charles, our spot hasn't reopened since the hurricane. So it kind of depends what you're looking for, Jacob. Like, they got a place in Perkins Row, Alumni Hall, which has a bunch of stuff. We usually go to Bengals and Bandits. Eric, I think, does a great job over there, and he has a lot of really sort of cool. Some of it's like vintage logos and just different kind of stuff that you're not going to find at your normal spots. So I'd say check out Bengals and Bandits too. Blaine Smith, good morning. I'm interested to see if Napier tries to run some heavy philosophy against Utah in the SEC. Run heavy philosophy, sorry. Blaine Smith, high school football was full throttle last night. Did you catch a game? I did not, Blaine. I mean, I did the game coin AMA, then came. I didn't get home until after 8 o'clock last night, but I was keeping up on the Catholic High game. Kirk, is Tiger Zone no longer a thing yet? Thanks for asking. Yeah, a lot of people have asked. But yeah, Tiger Zone, they retired Tiger Zone this year, so no Tiger Zone after the coaches show this year. Dane Bergeron, I like the expanded playoff. Gives teams peaking at the end a chance. It may stop players from opting out. That's opting out for sure. It certainly keeps you interested, more fan bases interested later in the season in playing meaningful games. And I can't understand how anybody would be opposed to more meaningful football. It just doesn't make sense. Like, just if you were to look at, like, let's look at the all right. Like last year, let's say hypothetically, you would have had, let's see, the first four would have a bye, so then you would have had Baylor against Utah, Ohio State, Ole Miss, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Michigan State. Those would have been 4 on-campus playoff games. Give me all of that action. All of it. Right. Thanks so much for watching 118 there on YouTube. Smash that like button if you haven't done so yet. Mike Primo, will LSU have a 1,000-yard rusher this year? Mike, I'm going to say no. Glenn Garner, going to see Dobby in Atlanta tonight? To keep it PG, there'll be plenty of those smoked also. What's Dobby? Danny Braywick, have you ever considered syncing your DraftKings with the Action Network app so you can follow your picks? I typically listen to your show and podcast and miss Otter picks. I have not, actually. Trivia Carter, what's up? She can't stay long getting in 18 holes. All right, Trivia, hit them straight, man. Gulf South, morning. What will be the typical game day pre- and post-game schedule for 104.5? Okay, so Hanny and Musso are doing pregame. That's 5 hours prior to kickoff. So Hanny and Musso pregame. Hanny and Jeremy Hill postgame on Eagle. And T-Bob and I, of course, on Whiskey and Wine. So that's your game day lineup. Jonathan Martin, good morning. TK, does Nuss play at all this game? TK, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. Tim Gotro, so weird having a September Saturday not being game day. Kind of freaking me out, yeah. Not the first time, though. I mean, look, they played, that Miami game in 2018 was on a Sunday. Virginia Tech in 2002 was on a Sunday. So we've seen this before. Billy Mathern, Shane O'Mac, morning, Matt. Destined bound for Labor Day weekend. Definitely be watching the game tomorrow night, eating pizza. Go Tigers, happy Labor Day. Amen. Safe travels. Kenneth Walker, bold prediction for LSU, FSU. I got LSU winning the game 27-23. My boldest prediction, I think Jade Daniels is going to be the leading rusher. And I'll tell you why I don't think it's going to be because of the number of carries. I think it's going to be an instance where he's being rushed, he spins out of the pocket and rips off like a 40-yarder. Scooter Allen, 28-17 Tigers. I'd love that. I'd love to see that. Maybe a late score to ice it. I think it'd be great. Other quarterbacks taking snaps under center. No, the only time we saw them take snaps under center was when they were doing short yardage and goal line situations, but they will primarily be out of the shotgun. Stone Musso, good morning. Rapid Batches, Brian Hill, what's up? Opinion on Notre Dame, Ohio State. I like Ohio State to win. I like Notre Dame to cover. I do think that they'll find a way to keep that thing within 17. It opened at 13 and got bet up. So I think it'll be a 2-score win for Ohio State, but I'll take Notre Dame in the points. Just a big number, man. Week 1, just as a general betting strategy, I tend to steer clear of teams covering huge numbers at the beginning of the season. It's just, there's so much uncertainty. You're usually not your sharpest in week 1. When you see those big numbers, I tend to steer clear. Ghastly Gamer, I saw where Florida State fans had bought 30,000 tickets. Doesn't the Dome hold 70,000? That ain't big. So there's 68,000 in the Dome. They did get a 30,000 seat allotment. RG3 signing a Michigan hat. What I was told, Ghastly Gamer, is that, and actually Jimmy said this on air. Jimmy Ott said this on air. That Florida State worked with a brokerage. So basically, you had brokers take the tickets to resell in the secondary market, and whatever goes unsold, I guess Florida State has to claim, or I don't know, but it's safe to say that all of the secondary market is going to be LSU fans. So I don't think you're going to have 30,000 Florida State fans in the building. Maybe 10. Hunter Fournette, 12-team playoff is going to be amazing to watch. Can't wait for it. FSU was given 30. Blah, 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 yeah. Rohan Blake, do you see any major downsides in expanding the playoff? Nope. I think they should expand it further. Joey Metke, good morning. Brett DeGrow, I agree. Scone, wish ESPN and other networks would keep politics out of sports. Bobby, Brian Hill, morning, Matt. The guy's a monster of a player in size and strength, and you don't even take a look at him? And you can get him with a low hit to the cap? Big Sue. Are you talking about, Ndamukong Suh? I mean, look, I've been saying Ndamukong Suh forever. And maybe they have, Brian. I mean, it may be one of those situations where Ndamukong Suh just didn't want to go through training camp, intentionally sat knowing he's got his option or his deal, whatever, in place with a certain team, and maybe it's back with Tampa. I don't know, but Sue has never missed a game due to injury. Talked about that plenty. Was really productive a year ago for Tampa. I would love it if the Saints signed him. I mean, they need help on the interior, so I would love it. Let's see. Daniel Blunt, Matt, we're fine. Pete is coming back. You got Eric Wilson. You got Bond, right? See, but here's the thing, Daniel. So, yeah, Pete Werner, hopefully he's healthy. And Eric Wilson is on the practice squad. And I don't know that I trust Eric Wilson to be the veteran guy that I need. And Zach Bond stinks. He stinks. He can't play in this defense. So, no, I'm not actually okay with the linebacker room. Also, good morning. I woke up on the floor in the office. I don't know why. Murdo Giraffe, how many LSU home games go into rain, lightning delays this season? Hopefully none. Don't speak that into existence. Golf South, I'm honestly hoping this crypto game coin dip continues the rest of the year. I plan on buying as much as possible starting next month. I mean, Golf South, I'll tell you this. People say, for as long as I've been into crypto, people say, man, I can't wait to buy the dip. And the dip comes, and few people will ever buy the dip. They get spooked. People would rather buy with confidence on the way up, and then they sell out of anxiety on the way down. And you got it backwards. That's how people build their bags, is buying the dip, is buying low and selling high. It's why you've got to pick projects that you're bullish on. It's why you got to pick crypto projects that, same thing in the stock market. I'm not saying investment advice, but it's common sense. If you're going to invest in something you think is going to work. Let's see. Irfan, what's your Texas State bet? Yeah, I think it was laying 1.5. I think was the line. Mark 4276, go Gators, Billy Napier. Mark, I'm gonna tell you, man, I have a small play on Florida today. I'm not super confident in it, but I do have a small play on the Gators today. Murder Giraffe, I think the rankings would have been different because they were ranking based off the 14 playoff. Murder Giraffe, that's irrelevant. The point being, you're talking about really good games, right? That's the point. Whether it would have been Baylor against Utah or Ohio State against Utah in a first round, either way, it's still what it is. I mean, it's a fun game. That would be in a playoff and be exciting to see. Brad David, will they have the SEC championship game? Yeah, that's never going away. It's just too much of a money revenue generator. Merrick Mathern, Hanny postgame is the best. I disagree. I think Whiskey and Wine postgame is the best. I know what you mean though, but Hanny on traditional radio postgame is fantastic. That is not an easy job to do. Coach got trucked. Charlie Cavell, what's good? Chris Roy, Peter Adams, CFP dilution. It's not dilution, Peter. It's actually allowing people to play it out on the field instead of guessing who you think the 4 best teams are or should be or best or most deserving, and having these absurd conversations about things like game control and defensive efficiency. Do you understand how absurd that is, Peter? Yours is the type of attitude that has crippled college football for so long because you believe that actually playing it on the field dilutes college football, which is absurd because literally every other sport in the history of mankind has had some form of a playoff. College football is the only sport in the history of mankind where you can win every game you play and not even have a chance to play for a championship. That's not dilution, allowing those people to play. That's actually a valid, equitable system that proves it on the field instead of saying, a bunch of morons in suits in a room going, yeah, we think that team is better because they had a better turnover margin. But how about we just go have a game? CFP dilution, kick rocks. It's freaking absurd. Let's not settle it on the field. No, let's let people in suits in a hotel ballroom in Texas decide who gets to play for a championship. Get out of here. Scott Shirley, my son Micah turns 9 today. One of our favorite memories is of 2019 Florida, maybe the loudest noise I've ever heard. All right. Well, happy birthday to Micah. Hope he has an awesome birthday. I don't know if he's watching today. Hopefully he's sleeping in, 9:45. 9 years old, Saturday, after school started. Yeah, man. Happy birthday to Micah. Hope it's a great, great day. Kyle DeVille, between CJ's hold-in, the value of the Saints took for him, do you think CJ was refusing to play without a new deal? I don't think he was refusing to play, Kyle. The more I asked around, it kind of sounded like they were worried he'd be a little, that it was just bleeding into the locker room, and he wasn't in a great mindset. So, if you're worried that's going to linger, you just move on now. You're deep there. I get it. I mean, I don't like it, but I get it. Did you see the horrible fake illegal punt? I did, where the guy ran 10 yards downfield and then kicked it. That's some stuff you'd see at a 12-year-old game. It's crazy. Dalton, do you think betting lines change drastically for later games in LSU's schedule? If they do very well or very poor, do you think the bookies would view it as first game, new system struggles? Well, Dalton, I mean, lines change obviously based on how a team plays. Like if you would have looked at LSU in 2019, it took Vegas a while to catch up to LSU. I mean, LSU was a covering machine, and it took them a while to adjust drastically enough to start getting action on both sides of the line. So, I mean, it would have to be something like that. Hang on one second, guys. All right. Blaine Smith, Saints need another running back. They seem content with what they got, dude. Chris Edwards, do you think the young O-line can hold up? Not young everywhere, Chris. Just inexperienced and new playing together. And I think you'd have to define hold up. I mean, I think they're going to have issues for sure. Scone, have fun watching all the football today. Yes, sir. Alex, do you think A&M is overrated? Absolutely. And by the way, that's not a knock on A&M. I think A&M next year could have a very good team when that recruiting class kind of comes of age a little bit. But I don't see anything where with this A&M team, they're warranted of being a top 10 preseason football team. I think that's a lot of people who voted based on the attention they garnered this offseason, and that's not why you vote on it. That's why, honestly, one of the reasons I don't vote. I don't have a vote, and I don't know that I would want it if I had one. All right. Bobby said, how concerned should we be about LSU's cornerbacks? Yeah, look, I mean, Brian Kelly. Oh, talking about LSU.
But he still hasn't publicly announced the starter for offense, right?
Yeah.
The quarterback
Everyone's
position.
assuming he's playing day.
I tell you what, my concern is there's going to be some adversity. And anytime you have a new coach, especially
Game Day's talking about LSU.
Coach with a new staff, there's a new philosophy, new terminology. When they go up against Florida State, this team has dealt with
all the Notre Dame people are booing him.
Now, when they deal with adversity, when they play Florida State, how are they going to respond? That's what I want to see. You want to go in there in Baton Rouge and change the culture. Because, hey, Florida State, they have a pretty talented team. Everything's not going to go your way. You're learning the system, but also Brian Kelly and his staff, they're learning the players, too, in real time. So I want to see how they deal with, bouts of adversity during the game. What's up, Coach?
I'm going with upset.
Upset.
Florida State's going to beat LSU in a big upset in Hillsborough.
Okay, all right.
Where did you go to college?
Florida State.
I was about to say you.
Guys, you got a secret to play.
There you go. All right.
Hey, Mike Norvell.
Third year.
What's in this new
It's a new Florida State here. They're a good football team. They're going to beat LSU. Watch it.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
that's it.
All right. We'll see. That was
Corso, God bless him. He's so old. Anyway.
Travis. Really dynamic quarterback. Kind of fits what Norvell likes.
Okay. What time's it? 9:50. Okay, we got to get going here a little bit because I got to bring Drew up to ride the elevators to get back for 11 a.m. kickoff. Okay. Angel Flores or Angel Flores. Good morning, Matt. As you know, I'm a Notre Dame alumni. That game is going to be close. I do think LSU would be 6-6 this year. Love your show. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. I tell you what, Angel. I think today's game or tomorrow's game with LSU will let you know if they're going to be more 6-6 or 8-4. I think you'll know not everything you need to know about LSU, but you'll certainly have a much better sense. I mean, part of them getting to 8, for me is winning this game. If they really struggle mightily, it'll illustrate that a lot of the issues they have are sincere and will be tough to overcome this year. Kerry Hughes, did you listen to the Catholic game last night? What a game. I did not. I just had someone sending me updates. Brandon Perry, Matt, I was wondering if you think Marcus May's suspension will come this year. It certainly sounds like. I mean, Dante Hardy's did last year. The DUI I'm talking about. Daniel, Matt, I think they must be high on Andrew Dowell or Caden Ellis. What happened to the linebacker we drafted? Never panned out. You're talking about Zach Bond. Yeah, Zach Bond made the team. He's just not any good. And they know Caden Ellis can play, but Dowell got to play last year when there were injury and COVID situations. He's just not a Sunday player. I mean, he could be a special teamer, but I don't want him on the field playing linebacker. Brett DeGrow, get him down the road and kick rocks. DeMarco Jackson. Where do they sign him to the practice squad? It's a kid at Appalachian State. I thought he got injured. Didn't DeMarco Jackson get injured? Yeah, DeMarco Jackson's on IR. He got injured. So he's on IR. His season's over. He basically just gets like a redshirt year. Huey Lipsy, hey Drew, grass mowed, work phone off, honeydews on a 3-day hold. Plenty eating drinks, camping out. I love it, dude. I love it. Be doing the same. I'll probably be sitting in the outdoor kitchen all day just watching ball. Might jump in the pool every now and again, just chillaxing. How close was LSU getting Caleb Williams? Hey, man. They had a hat on the table. I mean, why do you feel so optimistic about Jameis? I think he's a decent starter, but you talk about him like he's been an all-pro. So I don't talk about him like he's been an all-pro. He has thrown for 5,000 yards in the season. And I think, as I've explained many times, that physically he has everything you want in a quarterback. He's got every elite physical attribute. It was literally why he was a 5-star, won a national championship, won a Heisman Trophy, and was the first overall pick in the draft. He has everything physically you wanted. In Tampa, he was... Oh. It's a Mike Tyson movie. I think in Tampa, he was in a dysfunctional organization with different coaches, different coordinators, and he didn't handle it well. He was an immature player. And I think having the humility after being shipped out by the team that drafted you to say, you know what, because by the way, Pittsburgh wanted to sign Jameis Winston and offered him more money. And a longer-term deal, but he chose to take a 1-year deal and sit behind Drew Brees because he wanted to learn, which I respect tremendously. And then last year, obviously, went through the adversity of the torn ACL, and he had shown in that first 7 games that he was smart with football. So I think you give him another year's development, and you give him Michael Thomas, and you give him Jarvis Landry, and you give him Chris Olave, and you have Alvin Kamara, and your offensive line is healthy. And you're at a much better cultural fit, yeah, I think it's going to work. I think there's more anecdotal evidence to suggest it will work with Jameis than it won't. Brad David, may I ask, what does it mean when Drew's backpack beeps? Oh, yes. Yeah, so Drew is tube fed. So he's got a feeding tube, right? So he's got a peg in his stomach where we hook an extension, and then the backpack he wears is a, I'll just shoot. Excuse me. I'll just show you. So, I don't know if all of you care about this, but I'll answer for Brad because I do say that often. So, the backpack is, this is a milk bag, right? So it hooks into here, and then the tubes come through this hole and into the pump. So the pump then has a long wire with this tip clips into the extension on Drew's port in his stomach. So, and then you set the pump at a rate, right? So he gets 233 mLs over an hour. So basically that pump continuously feeds him at that slow rate over an hour. So when it beeps, it's just that the dose is done. Weston Weaver, Jason Lostness, Huey Lipsy, LSU wins by double digits, 27-13. I'll say it before, I said it before, I'll say it again. If LSU holds Florida State to 13, I'd be more excited about that than the 27. That's, if this defense goes out there, and one of my big takeaways from camp and what we got to see was, I thought, I came away more encouraged by the defense. I think that was probably my biggest takeaway. That I'm just more encouraged by the defense. Like, I will be very surprised if they are a bad defensive team this year. I just will. I'll be very surprised. Look at Maurice Claret. I would love to see that. I would love it if LSU holds Florida State to 13. I think that would be very validating if they did. Doug knows, Gregory Gordy, Murder Giraffe, of course, who had a stroke. He's not drunk. Yeah, no, I know that. I think everybody knows that. Did somebody say he was drunk? Hey, babe.
Hey.
He's just old, man. But, they keep running him out there. Jeremy Albrecht, Matt, do you think this is the start of an offense that isn't too predictable? Yeah, I don't think LSU's offense has been predictable since Les was gone. I think they've been good. What is that? What is that? Anyway. Huey Lipsy, if Norvell, FSU have a good showing, maybe Norvell will save his job. If defense has a killer showing, they're going to win us a few games for sure. So you got it, 37-24 LSU. I'd love it if LSU scored 37 in this game. Boy, I'd be pretty fired up about that. Craig Dugas, day 3 of Bourbon Heritage Month. One day closer to basketball season. Stay close, we ride. Kirk wants the HUDCO jingle. All right, Kirk. Ask and you shall receive.
When you need a roof, call someone you know. Scone, Ontario.
Dark outside.
All you need is HUD.
Somebody may need a HUDCO roof soon after this rain.
Call HUDCO Roofing.
364.
1007.
Okay. Daniel Sonnets, Richie Burt, what's going on? Jermaine Williams was an Ascension Catholic grad from Donaldsonville, now in the roofing business. Good luck to him. Kip Kippers, Ryan's still trying to get in to get his picks. Miami game was not good, lost Chasson for the year. Oh yeah. But the Miami game was really good. LSU won that game by double digits. Cole Tracy was awesome. It was good. Chad Turner, what difference are you seeing already? Brian Kelly staff versus Coach O's staff? Undeniable, just organization, expectation, attention to detail, everything you'd expect in a leader that Ogeron wasn't. Chad Turner, Jared LeBlanc, Taylor Slay, which coordinator are you more excited, Denbrock or House? I think we know what Denbrock is. Denbrock's a great offensive coordinator, he's a great play caller, has been for a long time, and I think he'll be fine. House hasn't been a DC since 2018 at Florida or at Kentucky. He's a young guy that wants to be a head coach. It's why in college is why he came back to college from the NFL, is to put himself on a trajectory to be a head coach. Tyrann Mathieu raved about him. If Tyrann raves about you, you're okay in my book. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Matt House's defense looks like. Jeremy, maybe this next year the offense will not be too predictable. I don't think the offense was predictable. Anyway. Josh DeVilliers, LSU D-line versus Florida State O-line. Don't think they match up with depth. I agree, but the same is true in reverse. Florida State's defensive line is better than LSU's offensive line. Dalton, I saw where most games were a 3-point swing, so I didn't know if they just didn't know where to put LSU. Yeah, no, I think that's part of figuring out this LSU team for sure. Patrick Landry, Richie, in the past, LSU coaches seem to have the highest praise for their biggest weakness. Example, Les Miles, 2008, best offensive line I've had. That was true. Example 2, Ogeron, best defense looked at any point in the last year. Those, I think, are 2 examples over the course of 15 years that are outliers, which is why we remember them. That's not the norm. So I don't think you'd say in the past LSU coaches have the highest praise for the biggest weakness. That's just 2 guys that in those individual seasons grossly misread their team. And quite honestly, the Ogeron thing in 2020 was a dig at Dave Aranda. That's what it was. Caleb Clark, Craig Duga, New Batch Vol Carter, and Bombergers. Bombergers? I don't know what that is. Currently dropping. Go give you some Vol Carter for sure. Richie Burt, what position group is Kelly giving the highest praise to? Receivers, and it's warranted. LSU's receivers are objectively the strength of the team. Chance Babin, Jack McAdams, game day, just unofficially picked Florida State over LSU. I don't know if they all. I just thought Corso did. All right, Daniel James can finally have a legit shot to reach his full potential. That could be very high ceiling. I agree. The sweater vest looks so old. Yeah, man, Tressel's getting up there, dog. Kelly Gross. All right, I think we're done. Got to get Drew dressed and get him out to Daddy's work. Ride the elevators. Logan Elrod, where does the "I'm sweating" sound come from? I don't know, Logan. Musso pulled that one. I guess I was doing a rant one time and I just yelled, "I'm sweating." I really don't even remember where that came from. Jason, your chair dancing is the best. Miami fans were terrible. Marcel Joseph, good morning. All right, y'all, think we're done. Y'all do me a solid if you're there on YouTube. 124 watching, only 44 likes. I just beg you, take a quick second. All you got to do is just push the thumbs up. That helps me. Here for an hour on Saturday. Love hanging out with y'all. But, man, just take a quick second and just hit the thumbs up button on YouTube. Like that helps with all the algorithm and YouTube showing this to people and all that sort of stuff. So I appreciate that greatly. Facebook, please like the Matt Moscona page, share the post. All right, y'all. I'll be watching games all day, so feel free. Tweet me, text me. I'll be around. Message me. I'm here watching games. So y'all got my text line, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. All right. The next time we meet, it'll be game day for LSU. Fired up for it. Enjoy your football Saturday, y'all. We'll see you. Peace.